Mike Tyson just flipped out after Jake Paul leaked secret audio files. Yep, you heard that right. If you thought things couldn't get messier between the two, you might need to think again. This isn't just about Jake pulling the plug or postponing the fight. It's much bigger, deeper, and juicier than this. Yeah, you almost guessed it. Something related to a big, fat cheating scandal and a $300 million lawsuit. Jake tried to pull a fast one on Mike Tyson, but that was about as hard and impossible as trying to teach a cat to swim. But you can't fool a legend, can you? Mike's all like, "This ain't your playground." So why did these leaked audio files fire up Iron Mike? Let's break it down. Mike Tyson is putting Paul on blast because these leaked audio files show that Jake had some other plans for fight night. Yep, the YouTuber turned boxer knew his chances of coming out on top were as thin as paper, so he turned to do the dark side. Believe it or not, Paul was planning on bribing the referees, and we've got all the proof against the athlete. This recent revelation has driven Iron Mike crazy, who was expecting a fair fight in the ring. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The leaked audio? It was a verbal thermonuclear detonation aimed directly at Jake Paul. These files have taken the fight world by storm as fans can't believe their ears. Everyone's weighing in their opinion, and Tyson? Oh, he didn't hold back. Words like fraud and con man were tossed around like used jump ropes. Apparently there were whispers of Jake's team greasing the wheels, paying off the refs for a guaranteed win. Tyson, the man who once bit a chunk out of his opponent's ear, isn't having any of it. You think you can waltz in here, buy your way to a win, and sully the legacy of this sport with your little influencer games? You ain't ready for the real deal, kid. I might be older, but that fire still burns brighter than your designer trunks. And if you think we are done here, there's more to the story. This drama is just getting started. The leaked audio also revealed some behind-the-scenes negotiations. There were talks of a hefty payday for Tyson, for the epic Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul bout scheduled for later this year. But turns out Paul has been sabotaging Iron Mike the whole time, keeping some of the boxing legend's millions all to himself. You wouldn't expect a newbie influencer kid to double-cross a legend who has fought for decades and decades shaping the fight world. You think this is some clickbait prank, kid? This is boxing. You trying to buy your way to a win with rigged fights and bought-out refs? You ain't ready for Iron Mike. Leaks or no leaks, you'll get knocked out faster than your subscriber count drops after this. Now let me tell you, the internet went into meltdown mode after this leaked audio. Fans were divided. Some thought it was just hype, some believed it was a genuine glimpse into Tyson's feelings. But one thing's for sure, it reignited the debate and the sparks about influencer boxing and its place in the sport. Here's the thing. Influencer boxing has become a phenomenon. It's brought a whole new generation of fans to the sport. But there's a fine line between entertainment and competition. Sure, the fights are exciting and the trash talk is spicy, but that's just a small element of boxing. The real deal is what goes out in the ring, right? Jake's made a name for himself by going after and challenging the biggest names in the sport, yet he hasn't really stepped into the ring with a seasoned professional. This behavior by the problem child has been raising eyebrows for a long time. One thing's for sure, this leaked audio, this whole situation with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, has thrown a grenade into the boxing ring. Now you and I know Jake Paul. He's no pro in the ring, but we were at least expecting professionalism from him, right? The problem child has been going on and on about knocking Mike out cold in the ring. You don't just throw big words like that when you're stepping into the ring with the baddest man on the planet. But Jake? He wasn't holding back at all.
I would win. Serious as a heart attack. I think he thinks that he would knock me out, and I think that is maybe the reason why he doesn't want to do the fight, because I think he wants to avoid maybe knocking me out.
He doesn't realize how good you are.
Exactly.
If he knew, maybe he would.
Maybe the fight would happen.
You think you can knock him out?
Can I ask you a question?
I think there's a very,
Whoa,
very high chance of that. He's not the same fighter that he once was, and he knows that.
That might be too much confidence, Jakey. Get this. The YouTuber turned boxer was hoping for a faded and beat-up Mike to show in the ring, but the boxing legend's training videos made rounds all over the internet, and if there's anything we got out of it, it's that he's not weak.
Day two, we're getting ready for you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Honed over years of dominance, those don't just disappear with age. His jab could still crack concrete, his footwork could still confuse seasoned fighters. Imagine Paul realizing this. The bravado, the trash talk, it all starts to crumble. Panic sets in. This wasn't the easy win he envisioned. This was a fight against a living legend, a man who could turn out the lights with one well-placed punch. According to the leaked audio, that's when things allegedly took a turn for the worse. Paul's camp reportedly explored some unorthodox strategies after realizing what they were up against. The talk of greasing the wheels, of bribing the referees, changes everything, and Mike is lashing out. Come on, he's a boxing legend who believes in a fair fight. You might think that Paul has a decision to make here. He could face Tyson in a fair fight, one where his chances of winning were slim to none thanks to the leaked audio. Or he could cut his losses and walk away. Well, if he chooses the latter, this athlete pretty much has his work cut out for him because Mike won't let him off the hook this easily. Paul's decision to pull the plug throws a massive wrench into the entire fight. We're talking way past the cancellation window here. Contracts were signed, the hype machine was in overdrive, and even Netflix got involved, agreeing to stream the fight, a major deal in the influencer boxing world. This wasn't just some backyard brawl, guys. This was a spectacle with millions of eyes glued to it. Bets were placed, fans were amped, and sponsors were on board. There's a mountain of financial commitments and contractual obligations at stake here. Paul can't just waltz in, sign a contract, and then decide to peace out when the going gets tough. But hey, Tyson isn't a newcomer, and he knows exactly how to deal with this situation. Iron Mike's lawyers are sharpening their knives. A whopping $300 million lawsuit for breach of contract? That's a heavyweight blow in itself. Think about it. Tyson put in the blood, sweat, and yes, probably a few gallons of water to get back in fighting shape. He defied all doubters who had concerns for his health, pushed his limits, and all for a fight that might not even happen now. No way. This lawsuit sends a clear message. Messing with Mike Tyson comes with a serious price tag, and Paul is about to experience it firsthand. Let's be honest, Paul's justifications for pulling out are flimsy at best. It's clear that he's throwing the boxing legend's health under the bus when he's the one to blame. He's claiming concerns about Tyson's health based on leaked training footage. But that footage itself showed Tyson in phenomenal shape, a far cry from the washed-up fighter Paul might have been banking on. This whole health concern angle reeks of desperation. It's a last-ditch effort to save face after the leaked audio exposed his alleged attempt to rig the fight. Paul isn't the king of the world, folks. He can't cherry-pick opponents and then walk away when things get real. He signed a contract, and contracts are meant to be honored. Let's face it, Jake Paul has a history of playing it safe. Remember his past fights? Yeah, mostly YouTubers and retired athletes. It's like picking on the smaller kids at recess. Not exactly a recipe for respect in the boxing world. This whole picking on retirees strategy is getting old. Sure, it generates hype, but it's not exactly proving his skills against seasoned competitors. If Jake wants to be a world champion, he needs to step up and face the cream of the crop, the young lions hungry for a title shot. Jake's camp is being really quiet about the Tyson fight cancellation. They're pushing his upcoming bout with Mike Perry on July 20th like crazy. Convenient, right? Here's the thing. Perry's a tough dude, the bare-knuckle fighting championship king. It'll be a brawl for sure, but let's be real, it's not the same as facing a legend like Mike Tyson. Don't get me wrong, Perry ain't no pushover. He's got a fighting spirit and some serious power. But this fight isn't going to magically erase the questions surrounding the Tyson cancellation. Will facing Perry somehow prove Jake's a legitimate boxer? Probably not. Jake Paul needs to understand that boxing isn't just about flashy knockouts and social media clout. It's about dedication, respect for the sport, and the willingness to test yourself against the best. The Tyson fight cancellation is leaving a bitter taste in everyone's mouth. Now, with the spotlight on the Perry fight, it feels like a strategic smokescreen. The leaked audio exposing Jake Paul's alleged attempt to rig the fight shattered any lingering respect he might have had. This win by any means necessary strategy has backfired. Sponsors are fleeing, fans are fuming, and even fellow boxers are throwing shade. If Jake wants to salvage any credibility in the boxing world, he needs to ditch the dirty tactics and prove himself the hard way. Through talent, dedication, and facing legitimate opponents in the ring. Otherwise, he risks becoming a permanent laughingstock, forever remembered as the guy who tried to cheat his way to the top. So there you have it, Fight World. That's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts on Mike's wrecking smackdown of Jake Paul? Make sure to fill the comment section with your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more boxing news. See you in the next video.